can fill out the license. How many of you are not married? Oh my God, shame. Sorry, so you should come next, inshallah, to do matrimonial service.
I got another question for you. I have a series of questions, so I apologize if there's too many questions, and I hope you're patient with us. So I heard someone once saying that marriage is an institution. What does that mean?
That is right. Marriage is an institution where the man, graduates the bachelor, and the woman gets her master's.
She gets her master's. Another question for you. I'm very shocked with these answers. We usually have a different mentality, but thank you for your honesty. We really need this every once in a while. But what about the concept behind rings in marriage? So, for example, my wife, she stresses, especially when you go into conventions and so on, wear a ring. But subhanAllah, actually did not end up wearing it because it was a bit tight. Not because I became fat, maybe because muscular. So as a question, what about the concept behind rings in marriage?
I think, a man puts a ring on the woman's hand, the woman puts two many rings, like one on the man's hands, or his legs, two rings under his eyes.
Wow, too many rings. That's Allah's protection. Okay, that's a good question. That must cost a fortune, all these rings. It must cost a lot of money. So if someone is getting ready to marry, he should have a big budget then, because all the expenses and the halls and all that stuff and all the rings you just mentioned, it requires a lot of money. So do you know approximately how much does it cost to get married these days?
Sure. Before I say this, I don't know whether they are familiar with how many rings should a man prepare before marriage. There are 4 types of rings that you have to prepare.
Can you write that down?
Yeah. First is the engagement ring. Second is the wedding ring. Third is the safar ring. And fourth is the endue ring. How much does it cost to get married? Like there was a nice kid who asked his dad, he said, "Dad, how much does it cost to get married?" He said, "Son, I have been paying for the last 20 years." He doesn't know how much. Allah help him.
Another question is, as you notice, all these questions about marriage and love, and it's one of the main concerns, especially our single and perhaps even married couples they have. So, is there a difference between love and marriage? Is there a difference?
Oh, of course, much difference. Love is blind, marriage is an eye opener.
Okay, another question again. Is it the same when a man holds the hand of his wife before consummating marriage and after?
Absolutely,
so before consummation and after?
Absolutely not.
It's different, huh?
Of course, it's completely different. When the man holds the hand of his wife before marriage is out of love. But after marriage is out of self-defense.
And then you have this whole discussion of protection. Why does the girl wear white in her wedding? That's a beautiful question. Like, why always white?
I think the girls wear white because this is, a happy occasion for her. This is the happiest day of her life.
Absolutely, I agree. Yes, 100%.
And you can tell why the guy would wear black.
No comments. So again, we had an appreciation, but I think is there any way for a long life?
You know what? There was a man who went to the doctor and he asked him, he's like, "Is there any way for a long life?" He said, "Go and get married."
Okay, will it help?
This question will never come up to his mind after marriage.
We don't have to worry. So get married, you will never worry about this
He
again.
will never ask about long life.
So you will not care the link. Okay, how about I do like a nice trivia question for you? So can you complete the following statements about marriage? Are you ready for this?
I hope so.
Okay, I know you're an expert when it comes to marriage and you offer courses and so on, so we're very interested in your answers. Can you complete the following statements about marriage? A man is incomplete until he marries, then he is?
Finished.
So he's incomplete as single after marriage?
It's finished.
Do you have a joke about a smart reply from a wife to her husband's question?
Oh, yeah. Well, one time, the husband came back home and he told his wife, honey, I just was with the governor and he issued like a decree. He said, anyone in the community who wouldn't marry a second wife, he would be killed. And then she was like, what's wrong, honey? Take it easy. It's not a big deal.
How could
If he kills you, you're going to be a shaheed. You're going to be a martyr.
you need to sacrifice your husband, but not, okay, not good. No problem, no problem. See, you know what? We're always like worried whenever we're going to achieve something in the future. We always wonder what are the results like. So, marriage, or does it just remain the same way? Like that lovely, beautiful moments.
Oh, I feel like life is always changing. Nothing remains the same. Like, you know, for example, in the first year of marriage, you would see the man talking and the woman listens. But in the second year of marriage, things are completely different. The woman talks and the man listens. Yet, in the third year, both of them talk and the neighbors listen. To help minimize these issues. The neighbors never hear us. You talk about dua.
I mean, we have to be certain we will dua, of course. We have to take action. Beautiful. Doctor, what are the scenarios? This is a very nice question. Sometimes I talk to my wife, you know, isn't it nice to open the door for her, not to open the door? So what are the scenarios when the man opens the car for his wife? It's something we need to learn.
There are two scenarios.
Opening the door, okay?
You know, when the man opens the door of the car to his wife. If the car is new, I think they got it. But if the wife is new,
Okay, I'll make sure for my wife not to watch this. Okay, no problem. But we keep learning, so keep being honest with us. We're young people, we like bluntness, we like the blunt answer, not sugarcoating, but that's excellent. Okay, now, a nice question that comes is that, you know, when we get married, we have this whole segment in our family called in-laws. So what's the difference between in-laws and outlaws?
it's a very clear difference. The difference between the in-laws and the outlaws is that the outlaws are wanted.
So maybe if you can enlighten us with like you can share stories with the in-laws. That'd be a nice story.
Oh yeah, there was a lady who had 3 daughters and they were all married. And she wanted to see how much, you know, her in-laws loved her. So she went the first week with the, you know, with the first one to the beach, and she was swimming. And then she pretended to be drowning. So he rushed to her, he saved her. And then in the following morning, he found in front of his door, you know, a black Mercedes with a gift card saying, "Thank you so much, you saved my life, your mother-in-law." And the second week, she went with the middle one, and the same thing happened. And the following day, he saw a silver, you know, BMW with a gift card saying, "Thank you so much, you saved my life, your mother-in-law." Then she went the third week with the youngest one, and she pretended to be drowning. He pushed her, she drowned. The following morning, he saw a red Ferrari in front of his door with a gift card saying, "Thank you so much, you saved my life, your father-in-law."
I didn't expect that story from you, but that's a story we can keep in our minds, and maybe we can share it every once in a while. But can you share, like, now let's go from that sad moments of drowning and so on, maybe we can share a funny dialogue between 2 couples who have been married for 20 years. That's a beautiful, long marriage, 20 years. Any dialogue that you can imagine that takes place?
Absolutely, yes. There was this husband, who has been married for 20 years, and one day his wife saw him sitting in the living room holding their marriage certificate, and he was looking seriously for 6 hours. So she came behind and was like, no, wow, honey, this must be bringing you good memories and stuff. You've been remembering like that.
Very romantic.
Exactly. He said, honey, I'm looking for the expiry date.
Sheikh, you know what? You're speaking to someone who's newly married, so you're scaring me. Maybe we should have learned this before, but قدر الله إن كل شيء خلقناه بقدر, everything has been decreed. So I'm newly married, and my wife sometimes, she keeps asking me really to do like embarrassing things, like break the ice, do embarrassing things, and I wonder how should I react to that? How should I react? Should I agree sometimes, or all the time, or not at all whatsoever? Whenever she requests something like that from me.
Can you just give me examples of those embarrassing things that she asked you?
Okay, I'll explain. This is a little personal, but I don't mind.
You can whisper.
Okay. So what should I say, for example, when she asks me to do the dishes? Speak or go to Ireland, we should wash dishes.
I think you should say yes.
Yes, sir. Okay, what if she asks me all the time to take the garbage?
No way. You're going to carry the garbage?
Yeah, well,
I think for this one you should say yes.
Okay, this is another third question. Maybe I'm hoping for some no or something. What if she asked me to change the diaper, Sheikh? The diaper. Najas, ayman, najas.
You know what? I think for this one, the answer should be yes.
Sometimes it gets even worse than one night. Sometimes she asks me to do the whole laundry. What should I do?
The laundry.
Laundry.
Women's job. She asked me to do it.
Whole laundry.
No, man. Like, for this one, I think the answer should be different. You should say yes.
So this is really getting frustrating. So the whole time she say yes, 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 and then what? So this is just too much for you. And for God's sake, is there any time that I can say like, no, it's your job?
Of course.
When?
There is one time.
Listen to that. I look forward.
When your wife says, honey, would you ever say no to me? You should say.
I think at this point, I have to say, we have to conclude this event. And we really thank you for coming. We appreciate you sharing your knowledge.
I want to have bodyguards. I don't want to go for the sisters early because I don't want to die before I go back to the
Thank you very much. And now besides this, remember this was just in terms of a joke, so I hope no one takes it personal. This will bring you a smile. So we know perhaps some people have issues when it comes to marriage. We're in no way we're trying to make fun of you and we seek Allah's refuge. Rather, we pray to all of you to have the most beautiful marriage in your life. But just an entertainment and bringing a smile to all of you. Barakallah fikum. See you in the next program of Light Up on Light TV, maybe next year. Jazakallah khair.